Thank you for listening to Pow Block Podcast, the flagship Nintendo podcast of Boss Rush Network. Do you need even more gaming and entertainment in your life? Head over to bossrush.net where you can find news, reviews, creators, podcasts, and more focused around the content you enjoy.
Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host and enlightened excited Eddie V. Joining me is the Gunner Hunter himself, the suave, stationary that you guys know and love from Crossroads, a PlayStation podcast that you can find out on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock / 8 p.m. on Exodus 803's Twitch channel and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. / 8 p.m. on Exodus 803 on YouTube and following Thursday on Boss Rush Network. The one, the only, one of my best friends that I love, LeRon Dawkins. Hello, good sir.
What's poppin'?
Looking smooth.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've been a guest on the show because that's always my catchphrase. What's poppin'? Yeah. By the way, like you did a better plug for my show than I've ever done in 52 episodes.
I am learning. I'm trying to do stuff. Me and you were talking about doing stuff while scripting and everything. I'm trying to learn that, so I'm trying to remember everything and practice and stuff. Mm-hmm. But we also got a debut guest. He is part of the Boss Rush Network writing team. He's the lovely and lenient Mr. LaMont Reed. Welcome, good sir.
Hey! I'm excited to be here. Like, my schedule is so crazy, and I always forget exactly what time the show starts and everything. I remember, actually, I think it was like last week. I think it was like Tuesday or something like that. I was watching one of your shows, and I said, "Man, how did I miss this? I wish I could have just joined, but I really didn't know how." But I'm really excited to be here tonight.
Yes. What would you go say, LeRon?
I was saying. So we got a LaMont and a LeRon on the show tonight. How are you gonna keep your proper names like sorted here, Ed?
Oh, LaMont and LeRon, how you doing?
Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes.
Yes.
I guarantee you, as we go in an hour or two, he'll be like, what's your name? What's his name? Like,
LeRon is on my left, LE, and LaMont is on my right.
Okay, how's that? How do you associate that though? Like you said, said LE for me.
Me is on the right.
Well, how about call me Monty? Some people do. I don't know.
What's up, Monty? What's up, Monty? How are you?
That's a
Monty.
That's a good sister element. Hey, Monty, what you doing over there? It's besides the T, because they be like, girl, you know the T that's going on. Oh, Monty, yeah.
See, this is Pow Block. This is about to get grown. You better go ahead and start housekeeping for it before we wind up getting censored.
Everybody, everybody, this is a mini block. Yes, we are recording a mini block for you guys. We took a break off Monday, so I invited LeRon and LaMont to join me on this mini block. We're going to just do some great discussions, and of course at the end, kind of with power. But you guys will be able to see the shows on Monday live on our Twitch stream at Boss Rush Network. I think it's Boss Rush. Is it Boss Rush Live still? I think it's Boss Rush Live still.
For the Twitch, I don't remember particularly. But wait, what do you mean? You mean live when you guys are back the week after? You mean?
Yeah, when we go live.
Okay, I was about to say you can't archive a show on Twitch if it's not broadcasted.
Craziness. But yeah, you'll be able to catch us back on Mondays, and then our episodes on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on YouTube. Sorry about that. Just thinking about a whole bunch of different stuff. And on our anchorfm.com, you guys can check us there, or any podcast service that you guys subscribe to. Like I said, also check LeRon and the PlayStation crew for Crossroads on Tuesdays at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. On Exodus 803 on Twitch. And then you can read a lot of stuff from LaMont he has written on for Boss Rush Network at bossrush.net. So now that we got the plugs out, we're going to get into our first discussion. And we're going to get into some other stuff because, trust me, we know how a lot of people feel about the Bluetooth coming to Switch. We will address that.
I have words.
So, as you guys can see, last week we talked about why Nintendo fans and players should play games on multi-platform. And we were talking about why going to play on PlayStation, play on Xbox, PC, Steam, wherever you play games at, why it's good as a Nintendo player that you should go and experience everything. So I brought these guys here because I kind of want to ask them, what was the first console that you ever brought yourself? LaMont, I'm gonna start with you. What was the first console that you ever brought, or even handheld or PC or whatever? But let's go with console first.
Okay. So the very first, it's gonna be a tough one. But the very first console I bought for myself would be, I'm going to go with the Nintendo Wii.
Ooh.
That was the very first. 'Cause usually, like, I guess, when I was younger, my consoles would come around birthdays, Christmas, things like that. But it was definitely the Nintendo Wii, and I loved every minute of it. Oh my gosh.
All right, LeRon. Oh, yeah. LeRon, what was the first console that you ever bought?
All right, so the first console I ever bought my own money, I was still in training in the Navy. So as soon as we got out of boot camp, we were actually allowed to start buying like electronics, TVs and stuff like that. The first system I bought on my own was the Sega Genesis Sega CD combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was it the second version or?
It was the first. It was the first version. Even though I technically had the second version when they made the Sega CD CDX.
Yeah.
It was basically it was supposed to be like the Walkman version of Sega CD.
Yes.
And it still had the backloader for the cartridges and stuff. Like, shoot, man. Yeah, but the Sega Genesis was the Sega Genesis Plus CD was the first one that I bought on my own. Like, no parents helped me out or anything like that. Grandma didn't even give me additional money to like throw it, and throw into my pocket to go get it and stuff. That was the first one I bought with my own coins.
Well, for me, was the Dreamcast, and at the time, I was out of school, going into college, and I didn't have a job yet, but my high school hired me to DJ music for their basketball games. So they paid me like $1,000.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, and it was all for the whole basketball season. So I did that, and went to Gurney Mills in Gurney, Illinois, and went to GameStop and went and brought Dreamcast there, and then started buying games for it. I think I had the Dreamcast for a good 2 years before Sega canceled it, and I was trying to look for Jet Set Radio. I don't know why I was about to say Jet Set Gemini because that's N64, and I couldn't find it. It had all sold out. So I was hitting different GameStops getting games. But man, I remember buying my Dreamcast, and the first game that I bought was Soul Calibur.
Yes.
What about you, LaMont? What was your first game that you bought when you got your Wii?
That would be Mario Galaxy.
Ooh, good.
Mario Galaxy. Of course, that was the first time you saw Mario out of his elements. You're talking space, and the music was just. I was pretty much blown away by it, and I have to apologize. The Wii was not the first console I bought. Well, okay, yeah. The very first game that I bought was the Game Boy Advance. That was the very first. Right,
okay.
right. But the Wii is pretty much my first main console. So, but yeah.
Okay. LeRon, what's your first game for your Sega CD that you bought?
The Sega CD? The first game for Sega CD, well, let's see, because the Sega CD, back then, the Sega CD, because when you bought that combo, it came with 2 games, so I automatically got freaking Sewer Shark, and I can't remember what the other game was. Those are the ones that are, those are the ones
was it a Make My Video one?
No, it wasn't that. You're thinking the Crisscross game. It wasn't that one.
Yeah, and the Marky and the Fuggy Bunch, they did those 2.
Yeah, but I can't remember what the 2 games were. But the first game I actually bought on my own because I actually bought, to actually start my library for the Sega CD was Sonic CD.
Ooh,
yeah. That's also why Sonic CD has such a very, very, very like solid warm spot in my heart. Like it is my favorite Sonic title of all the Sonic the Hedgehog games, like past and present.
That's the one game
the only Sonic game that in my opinion rivals it. Well, not rivals it, but it was like right neck and neck with it is Sonic Mania. That's the only one.
Really?
Yeah.
See, Sonic 2, I think is top.
Oh, Sonic 2 is great. Yeah. Sonic 2 is great, but trust me, I know Sonic CD like the back of my hand. I can get every requirement for the Chaos Emeralds. I can do everything to make sure the past, the present, and the future is perfect by the time we get to Robotnik at the end of each stage. Like, dude.
I was looking forward to Sonic CD, and even though my brother, he had the Sega Genesis, and I didn't have, we didn't have the Sega CD because I told LeRon this, LaMont, if we had the Sega CD, I was going to be able to buy Snatcher from KB Toy Store because they used to only sell it for $50.
I had Snatcher. Okay, let me do a quick rundown of the Sega Genesis games I had. Let me see. I had Snatcher. I had Sonic CD. I had Lunar and Lunar 2.
Yes.
That looked good.
I had Popful Mail. I had Vey. These are all Working Designs games, by the way. Like all those I just named, they're all by the studio Working Designs that eventually I can't remember who they became.
It's Genshin, I think.
Something like that. What else? I had Eternal Champion CD.
That's what I'm
I had Eternal Champion CD. I had Super Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm missing a few. Oh, Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. The CD version of Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure was just beats the asses of the Super NES and the Sega Genesis ones.
You didn't get Peter Pan, did you?
No.
Okay. That was so because when I was on Pow Block, I told them that was the first Sony game that was on Sega and Super Nintendo. Nintendo is kind of the only console that actually have a Sony and a Microsoft game on their console, on their brand, on their line. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any other. Those are the main ones that stand out to me. Oh, I had Dracula Unleashed.
Oh wow! I remember that game.
I had Dracula Unleashed, and I'll stop right there. But yeah, Sonic CD was the first game I bought for the Sega CD. The first game I bought on the Sega Genesis side was Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, because I mean the Sega Genesis like this. The Sega Genesis had the better controller to play like the fighting games on at that point. Never. When you
bought the 6-button controller.
Yes, yeah.
Right, because Super Nintendo already had the 6 buttons, and you couldn't play
Street Fighter. But they had it in a weird configuration.
They have it in the configuration that is in modern days now.
That is true. That is true. But at the time, it didn't closely resemble like being in the arcade and playing on the cabinet.
Which is funny. And LeRon, I'm gonna get to you. Everybody who's
he just mispronounced your name, LaMont.
I said LaMont.
No, you said LeRon. You said LeRon.
No, I said LaMont.
Okay. Let's rewind the tape later and listen.
Right.
Don't be nice to him.
Nice to me. I don't know what I do. I send snacks and gifts and love. But again, I forgot what I was supposed to say. Well, I'm headed over to you, LeRon. Dang it! Because you put it in my mouth.
No, not my fault. LaMont, take it away.
What was your first games for your Game Boy Advance? Since that was the first console.
Let me see. Wow, I had the Game Boy Advance. Of course, I had Mario, the Mario 2 Advance. I got that. That was an interesting one. Played Zelda. Got that. I got Final Fight 1.
Oh man,
that was an interesting port.
So, for everybody who don't know the history of the Final Fight games, when it came out to Super Nintendo, there was only one player, and you only could play as Cody and Hagar. When it came to the Game Boy Advance, you could play Cody, Hagar, and Colt and Guy.
Yeah,
and he was my favorite.
Yeah,
I was happy he was in there.
If you went to Blockbuster, Blockbuster had the exclusive Final Fight Guy. So, and that's the way that you play Guy and Hagar. They took Cody out on the Super Nintendo. Final Fight came to Sega CD, but I never seen it in America. There's gameplay of it, and they have the whole arcade version on there, on the Sega CD. But I didn't know that. So,
I didn't know that either.
You have to forgive me. Back the 16-bit days was my jam. Definitely with the 8-bit and stuff. And I played everything. Like I had the TurboGrafx, I had the Sega Genesis, I had Super Nintendo. When N64 came, I got that, and then I got my PlayStation 1. Like I'm a history buff in a sense. When it comes
I just watched a retrospective of the Super Nintendo on YouTube, and I had no idea how much of a battle Sega and Super Nintendo went through to compete.
Yeah.
It was
very tense. I mean, wow. To just
because it was because Sega came out with the Sega Genesis first. They led 16-bit, and then Super Nintendo came out. They had this big rivalry because they were seeing the sales in America, so they were trying to get more sales definitely here in America and trying to outdo each other. And when it came to Mortal Kombat, that's when everything kind of broke, because Sega Genesis, when they got the Mortal Kombat game, they had the code for the blood and fatalities, and Nintendo did it. But Sega went through a whole bunch of problems because of Night Trap and Joe Lieberman and all of that controversy that happened, and it would kind of thrown like Nintendo threw Sega under the bus, and that's why when you saw Night Trap come to Switch, the CEO at that time, Lincoln, I forgot his first name, he said that Night Trap would never be on a Nintendo system in the Senate at that Senate hearing. And then Night Trap came out and it appeared on everything, even on the Nintendo system with Switch. So that's why they had kind of, you see it, you be like, wow.
Well, it's a different day and age that we live in. I mean, shoot, people right now their biggest concern is trying to make sure women can't, terminate a birth of their,
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but before we move on from this topic, I kind of want to ask you guys, definitely with you, LeRon, being host of Crossroads, we 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 actually praise PlayStation and Xbox, and we were telling people why they should play on those consoles. Why do you think Nintendo fans need to experience Sony and Microsoft, or even just PC, trying to expand their horizons in gaming?
You know what? It's good that you asked that question, because we actually I feel like I actually kind of made a statement about this on Tuesday night's Crossroads show, which is actually live now on either my YouTube or the Boss Rush Net website. Basically, if you call yourself a gamer, like you honestly should be using games to enrich your life. And as long as we're always going to have that ecosystem where like there's going to be exclusives in one place or the other, you should never try to limit yourself. And I say try to limit yourself because these are people who try to limit themselves. These games are only on Nintendo, so I'll buy this. Oh, these games are only on Sony, so I'll buy this. Oh, these games are only on the PC, so PC. You know what? Never mind. PC Master Race is a completely different thing. I'm actually part of that. But basically, if you like video games, why are you spiting yourself? Just because like this game is somewhere else, and then at the same time you want to complain and be upset about the fact that it will never come to a system, never come to the system that you own. Like, if you're a gamer, you reconcile a couple of things. You reconcile, do you want to play all the games that you want to play? If you can reconcile that, then you already know that you're going to have to spend some additional money for consoles, that you like. Here's a good example. I'm a Monster Hunter gamer. When Monster Hunter was announced was coming to the Wii, at that point, up until that point, I had no reason to buy a Nintendo Wii. Monster Hunter gets announced for the Wii. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and buy a Wii. and I bought the Wii like a year ahead before Monster Hunter came out. So by the time Monster Hunter came out, I had like 5 or 6 games for the Wii. Because that's the thing about it. Like, I like video games, so like if I have a way to play these games, like I'm going to find something that I'm going to like and want to play on these systems and stuff like that. Right. And basically to like frame this whole thing up, like like Nintendo gamers, like don't ever sell yourself short because like you only like Nintendo systems, you only like Nintendo games and stuff like that. If you're a gamer, then yeah, you should want to play a lot more games, get a lot more diversity, because you'll never know. Like I remember, I've always liked music games, but back when the Dance Dance Revolution games were a craze and stuff in the arcades and stuff, like I remember walking past the arcade in the food court, seeing people play freaking Dance Dance Revolution, and I was like, there's no way in hell you're gonna catch me jumping up and down that damn thing. Shoot. I've gone to tournaments for DDR. I've participated in DDR tournaments.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, you're not gonna catch me jumping up and down that damn thing. Same thing applies though. If you're legit turn around saying I don't want to play these games because it's not on the system that I like, I question if you're a gamer or not. You might just be a Nintendo gamer, or you might just be an Xbox gamer, or you might just be a Sony gamer, or hell, you might just be like, shoot, some people won't even buy consoles, they'll just buy portables. So you might just be a mobile gamer or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you're a gamer in that sense. So reconcile, like, are you a gamer or are you this type of gamer, and be at peace with that, but just like how Dan said in one of our conversations, don't yuck somebody's yam. Don't do that. Don't ridicule people because they actually play games on multiple systems and stuff like that. Hell, like if they're not the same caliber of gamer you are, accept that you're not that caliber of gamer and move on.
Everybody know all the Boss Rush crew know in the Twitter in our DMs all about me and my games and how sometimes I get love, but how sometimes I get yelled at uh, at times.
Wait, who's yelling at you?
Yeah. Oh,
Who's
why?
yelling at you? Who's yelling at you? Yeah, who's yelling at you and why?
I need to know why. I don't understand.
Do I need to bring up the Paper Mario, the Origami King? Correct. LaMont.
Yeah, you know what? Listen to LeRon. I will confess something. When I was little, like my parents got me Nintendo 64 for Christmas, and seeing Mario 64, I mean, seeing Mario speak and all this, and it blew me away.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I was just like, I love games, but I'm leaning more towards Nintendo. So I was always like, I don't need Game Gear, or Sega, or PlayStation. I didn't really care about all that.
Oh, I feel like everybody has a bias. I feel like that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has a bias. Like sometimes it's a bias because like you don't know any better, or like in your case you were young, so like it was a maturity thing. Like some people have that. I don't take that into account. I just take grown ass men and women who are able to buy video games and do their things and stuff like that. It's like you're a 45-year-old woman and the only thing you play is your Nintendo Wii, but you call yourself a gamer? Get out of here! Take a seat, Kimberly.
Wow.
Well, no, but it's just like okay, I'll give you an example.
I almost said Stephanie, but that's actually someone that works, and that's not who I'm talking about.
It's like no, not that one.
Right.
Not only like I would always associate like Sega with darker games, like darker RPG, and Super Nintendo was all about lights and color and goofiness and cartoons and all this, and it was just something I enjoyed. And now it's just like, oh man, I love all the games. Like I'm just now a huge fan of Resident Evil. I haven't tried Resident 7 yet, or I mean not 7, but 8. But I'm going to get into it. Oh yeah, I'm tripping. Yes, 7, and but yeah, I'm a huge Final Fantasy 7 gamer. I mean, I love Final Fantasy.
Mhm.
Huge fan. So, I just as I gotten older, I'm pretty much more of a gamer than I ever was.
Yeah.
And I know for me, because of having a brother and playing on Sega Genesis and beating his whole library before he got a chance to beat it, I kind of understood why playing on other systems was very important. When I talked about it in our episode on Pow Block, what I said about Sony and Microsoft, I'm like, they do things that Nintendo cannot do. They don't tell deeper and darker stories. They don't go for teaching you morals or make you feel a certain emotion. Yeah, the graphics could be beautiful and everything, but you could equal Wind Waker. You could equal Wind Waker to Ghost of Tsushima. Regardless of what the graphic style is that was used, you are blown away by what you are seeing.
Honestly, hold on a second, because I think Legend of Zelda, since its inception, is a pretty dark series.
Well, yeah, but I think when it comes to like deeper stories, when it comes to like death, when it comes to not so much.
You know what I miss about the old school retro days? When I say retro days, I'm talking pre-PlayStation 1 days.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the fact that back then those games forced us to use our imaginations.
Oh yeah.
Those games force us to use our imaginations and stuff like that. Yeah, like someone with a very vivid imagination played all 8 dungeons in the original Legend of Zelda, and they got a completely different story than just someone that just wanted to go like push some blocks, swing the Master Sword and shoot Ganon with an arrow.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, you're talking about like one of like Tiger handheld.
Oh
right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've had like 3 of those. I had a Ninja Turtle 3, and I had like X-Men, and I forgot what the other one was.
I had a one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll see me get one again, but
They still make them. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Like they still make them brand new.
And I think like I definitely said like go play games like Uncharted and get that kind of adventure and that story and stuff. I told people go play Halo and Forza, and even nowadays like why we recommend people play Hellblade, Swing of Sacrifice. When it came out for PlayStation, we were just like we've never seen a game deal with mental health. And you know, as much as people praise certain games for narrative and art direction and stuff, there's so much out there that if you stick to, definitely for as a Nintendo fan like me, if I would have just stuck to all Nintendo games and never played PlayStation and Xbox, I think personally I probably would have become a more jaded gamer. I'm not jaded at all.
That's the danger.
Yeah, and I'm not jaded at all. Trust me, I might have my arguments about stuff. I might even have my things about Grand Theft Auto 5. But I'm not gonna knock Rockstar because of Max Payne 3 was a fantastic game. I always have a problem sometimes with the technical things that we sometimes overlook. But guess what? My $50, $60 some dollars is going to your game for me to play it on. And everything, and I want to get that experience because I think Sony tells some of the greatest stories that Nintendo cannot tell.
Nintendo can tell those stories. Nintendo's capable of telling those stories.
Nintendo.
Yeah, especially now. Especially now. Okay, the Switch might not be a powerful console, but those cartridges are powerful enough that they can. Look, you got the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on the Switch.
You got Fire 3 Houses.
Yeah, you have Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. You know, stuff like that. That's a PS2 game. You know, but
yes.
but still, like no, like Nintendo's capable of it now. Like I'm not sure if Nintendo's holding themselves back or whatnot. You know, when it comes at least on the first party side, because shit, like Astral Chain, for example, come on, Bayonetta 2, come on now,
and early Nintendo would have none of that on their console.
Well, yeah, that's also why I say I feel like by the time we got Nintendo 64, I felt like I outgrown Nintendo. Nintendo was still too deeply steeped in like family friendly content and stuff like that, which is fine. But you know, like I was tired of playing Fairy Tales.
And I gotta say this was pre Iwata. Iwata was working for Nintendo. He was not president of Nintendo yet because I'm just saying though, you know, like you know, but Nintendo still does it now. Like how many of their first party titles, like first party Nintendo titles, do you think stacks up to like some of the heavy hitters on Xbox and PlayStation? They don't. They wait for third parties like Platinum Games, for example, to do that stuff. And I'm not sure if that's just because Nintendo thinks that's the way it is, or they just don't want to make a move or whatnot. You know, like I said, honestly, like I think the darkest games they have is Zelda and Metroid. Yeah. And
those are the darkest games they have, which is why I'm going to enjoy the hell out of damn Metroid Dread when it comes out next month.
Yeah.
And LeRon, you might. I don't know if you agree me with this, because with you speaking about like dark titles and then like work with Platinum, I think when Nintendo goes out and work with a third party or other kind of developer, they allow them to make those games.
Yeah, but why isn't Nintendo doing it? Is the question. I feel like Nintendo. I'm not trying to criticize Nintendo, but I also feel like Nintendo needs to take some risks. They need to take better risks than they're taking now. You know, they do because you know what? I'm not a Nintendo gamer. Like I have a Nintendo Switch. I have a 3DS, but you know, 3DS basically got replaced by the Switch. You know, but you know, like I own a Nintendo system. And the games that always get my attention are the games that seem to not be like the traditional Nintendo titles.
I think it's kind of their mantra, or not mantra, shouldn't say that. I think it's because of them, maybe now that they're working more with more Japanese studios and Mercury System being like kind of the Western studio. I think doing that, even kind of with Retro before they even bought them, I think Nintendo was just like, we can't make these kind of games because of our image and what we like to make.
They can do whatever the hell they want. They're Nintendo. They're the number one. They're the number one video game company. They are. You know, like I host the Crossroads PlayStation show, and the fact that I say that and acknowledge that is powerful. You know, Nintendo can do whatever they want as long as Nintendo's not going out there and like desecrating religions and stuff like that. You know, Nintendo will be fine if they step outside their own. You know what? And you know what? Here's the beauty about it, though, right? Nintendo doesn't even have to like shake up Mario, Metroid, Fire Emblem, Zelda. They don't have to shake it up. They can create whole new IPs, and guess what? They will get so much attention. It's like, oh wait, a Nintendo IP is the beginning of the opening act, and the entire kingdom got slain. Okay, let me pick this up and play this. You know, I'm just saying, like as far as Nintendo's concerned, the world is their oyster because they are number one. They are. And so, you know, the fact that they make so many bonehead decisions, you know, like why are they shutting down tournaments for games that are 25 years old? You know, why are they killing charitable events and stuff like that? You know, stuff that will actually change the world. Like I just spoke 15 minutes ago about like a political thing, and you know. There are people out there, you know, they love Nintendo so much that they will help use Nintendo stuff, or Nintendo, you know, they'll use something that's affiliated with Nintendo to change people's lives and make people feel better about themselves and things like that. And Nintendo the world is their oyster, man. Like, you know, if Nintendo can really bury Sony and Microsoft, Sony and Microsoft, if they just relax.
LaMont, you would have the final word. Don't give me that smug look.
Wait, who gave you a smug look?
No.
You're just like, And I would drop the mic and I would continue to walk over here. Wait a minute. Y'all sit down, audience. Come down.
Hold on, Lamont. Before you get started, though, did I stutter though? I mean, I honestly feel like Nintendo is the number one gaming company. The number one. There ain't that many of them because Sega's gone. As far as what Sega is not on the same scope that Nintendo is. You know, it's only Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. And I said Nintendo last because Nintendo's number one.
See. You know, I was just thinking about this while you were talking, because you know I'm going to agree with you. Nintendo to me has always been number one. Like, I mean, everything seemed to have started with Nintendo's initiative, you know, and they're a lot more innovative in their approach, and of course they have I guess a wider audience. Probably a lot more children gamers than the other consoles.
You would actually be surprised.
Well, we gotta think about something. Like I had Nintendo Entertainment System when it was new. Like I was like 12 years old. So I'm 46 years old right now. So just think about all the other 46-year-olds who their first or maybe second system, because my first video game system was the Atari 2600. So just think about all these other 46-year-olds out there that possibly their first system was Nintendo. Some of them are still Nintendo gamers at their core. A lot of them have saw like what else is available out there, and they're in the different waters and stuff like that. But let's look at it for what it is. Like, Nintendo has been in my life for over 30 years. They're the number one. Until Nintendo files bankruptcy and they close their doors just like Sega did. Oh, actually, no. Nintendo has a crash and burn harder than Sega did because Sega still makes games.
Yeah.
Till the day Nintendo shuts their doors and they are no longer doing anything video game related, they're always going to be number one.
And this is the thing about it. They have 10 billion. I think it just went up to 20 billion plus.
I don't really care what they have in their revenue. I don't really.
Oh no! I know.
What I'm saying is, until Nintendo turns around, does that walk of shame like Sega did, until they do that and say we are no longer capable of making video games or video game systems, they will always be number one. The only way they stop being number one, outside of like having like financial windfall and not being able to sustain themselves, is if they have a serious scandal. And I mean, when I say a serious scandal, I mean something that deeply affects
the world.
That deeply affects them on a corporate structure.
Well, LaMont.
No. I totally agree. I mean, especially because, like I said, like you said, if they ever did that walk of shame, people are always going to know and remember Nintendo. I remember the first time I saw. Dang, what was the name of that movie? Wizard.
The Wizard.
Oh yeah,
the Wizard.
With Jennifer
the movie
Lewis.
The movie that debuted Super Mario 3. That movie.
And I was just, whoa! And then of course they showed the commercial like a week later. The whole Mario 3 commercial with all the, yeah. And I mean that's just it's always going to be Mario is just he's the king. But I wonder like if they decide to make a dark Mario game, like a really dark Mario game, like Mario doesn't make it to save Princess in time and she gets killed somehow. And I'm pretty sure parents, of course, are going to complain like, oh my God, what happened? And what's going on with the image of Nintendo? And, I can't believe they're allowing our children to play this. And I just wonder, like, would that ever happen?
Well, see, I feel like they take risks with Mario's. That's why we have Luigi's Mansion. That's why we have Wario Lands and stuff like that. I feel like that's how they take risks without screwing with the name of Super Mario. That's how they take those risks. And by the way, Princess Peach ain't dying. Or has anyone played Super Princess Peach? That woman can take care of herself.
Yeah.
The only reason why Bowser kidnaps her is because she lets him kidnap her. Just think about that.
I mean, it's written that way.
Yeah.
I mean, Bowser Jr. like has kidnapped her a couple of times, but she's shocked because he has so much gall to do that.
It's just so funny because now Bowser Jr. is Yoshi's prime enemy. Yoshi's crafted.
We're not gonna talk crap about Bowser Jr. though, because Bowser Jr. is my boy. He's my favorite Super Mario character.
I wish you would play Craft the World, LeRon. It is so good. Had you played the LeRon, LaMont?
What's it? What is it?
Yoshi's Craft the World on Switch.
Oh, I've never played that. No.
Oh, you have to play it. The level design, the bosses, fighting Bowser Jr. It's Kamik. It's so good. It's literally good. There's a level that takes place in a bathtub, and I howled.
This just sounds zany. I'm sorry. Here's the sad part though. It's a Yoshi game, so I'm probably not even gonna look at it. Yoshi is the most annoying. Yoshi's the most annoying character in the Super Mario universe, as far as I'm concerned. Like all the noises and all that stuff. Oh Lord.
I say play it. Go in.
Play it with the volume turned down.
No, actually, it has some good music. It really has some good. Shoot, Yoshi's Woolly World got some fantastic music. But
I did hear some like on YouTube. Like sometimes I just listen to random music. And there were some pretty good ones.
Yeah, I posted one on my Twitter page where it used one of the musics, but it's like a hip hop beat, drum beat to it. Like it's so good. Yeah, it's really good. It's
honestly, Bowser Jr. is why I love like Mario Rabbids Kingdom so much.
Oh, that game is so fun.
He's such a rascal. Like, man, I did not realize when I turned on Super Mario Sunshine for the first time ever that I was going to fall in love with like a Mario character the way I fell in love with Bowser Jr.
Oh wow! I still hate that game. I played it every day when I got it on GameCube. So.
I'm telling you, don't trash about Bowser Jr. Like I almost bought those amiibos when Mario 3D World came out. I'm sorry.
Oh, I bet you did.
I didn't.
Ah, LeRon.
You know me. The only amiibos I buy are Monster Hunter amiibos. That's the only ones I buy.
And they are fantastic. I love them all. LeRon, I tell him every time he show, I just get like giddy and happy. I'm like, yes, yes,
Nice.
yes.
Oh man.
Oh well, hold on, because you know you want to play Monster Hunter Stories 2 right now. Like they've seen her before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, that was a good topic. Good topic.
In your Monster Hunter book, I'm still like jealous of. I'm so giddy. I love to do.
They need to hurry up and localize the Iceborne one because I'm going to buy that one too. Like this one book is just Monster Hunter World. Like they already have another print. That's just all Iceborne, and it's actually thicker than the Monster Hunter World book was.
It's just a nice. When you posted that video and I seen it, LaMont, you got to see the book. He has. Go ahead.
No, yeah. But I'm just like speaking no Japanese, so I'm not buying that book.
I was just buying for the art. I just look at it and be like, dang, this concept art and just the way that it looks. Well, everybody, we're gonna get into our second topic. Brace yourself for this one. So if you guys know that Nintendo has just did their new update for the Switch. Now you can pair a Bluetooth headset for audio. You cannot do chat at the moment, but it was kind of rumored a while back because one of the update things got data mined, and it kind of had a look for Bluetooth audio a couple of months ago. We covered this on Pow Block a while back. So now that it is available, we have kind of only seen one person, our good friend from our Family News lead, David Laxby. He posted that someone paired their Xbox headset for their Xbox One for it. I believe that you can do it with the PS5, but they was just like it's a dongle with it. I guess it's a cord, but I thought it was wireless. So I don't know if you could actually. Yeah.
There are wireless edition PS5 headsets. I'm sorry.
The 3D one that they got for PlayStation 5, is that wireless? That was the one I was asking.
It should be wireless. I don't know honestly because I don't really plan on owning like that, but I can check real fast.
Okay. Yes, you could do it. Now, there are some people making fun of Nintendo, some people who are upset. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to go to LaMont first, LeRon, before I get to you.
Okay. Okay, good, because I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sit here and twirl my mustache because I'm ready.
So, LaMont, what did you think of this update, and what does it do for you for the future of Nintendo and their games? So what did you think of this update?
I mean, I think it's cool. Doesn't do anything different. You know, I love it. You know, I'm just gonna use the Bluetooth. I mean, okay, so this is the first time I've ever heard this, but is anyone actually upset about?
Yeah,
they're upset. They're upset, but they're not upset at the reason you think.
Yeah,
at the reason you might be thinking.
Huh. Okay, because I know like.
Okay.
Hold on.
Spoiler alert! I'm one of those upset people.
So hold on, LeRon.
What? No. Okay. I'm gonna wait my turn. I was just saying, spoiler alert. I'm one of those upset people.
So, but what does it do for you in the future? Do you think you're gonna turn your Switch into kind of like a Walkman almost, like listen to Smash or listen to gaming soundtracks while you're out and about, like taking a walk or working out or whatever, you know?
Why are you gonna burn up that 3.5 hour battery doing that? Why are you gonna burn up your 3.5 hour battery doing that?
You never know. You might be one of listen to some good game music on your Switch or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying you're gonna do it.
I just asked a question. That's all.
No, I mean, I probably would. I mean, like I said, it's it hasn't changed anything. I mean, I'm happy they finally did it. I don't know. I'm one of those people. I'm simple. They do what they do. They don't. I mean, I've always had like my regular headphones. That I plug up to the Switch, and I was always listening to Super Smash Ultimate music with it. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
You could be listening to Hulu or going to hearing a Nintendo Chill hop on YouTube with your Bluetooth while you're cleaning around the house. You can do that. Okay, so I think this is cool. I like that they did it. It's given this option. I really think as much as people are having their opinion about it, I think this is going to actually do good sales for a lot of companies who sell Bluetooth headphones. I think Sony and Microsoft are going to benefit off of it. I think Panasonic and Magnavox or whoever, even Beats by Dre, I think they're going to get a lot of more sales because people, as much as hold your thoughts. Hold that look in the
No. I just have one question. Do we know if the codec for the Switch's audio actually supports all that stuff? Though is the question.
I think at this point in time, I think
I doubt it supports the 3D audio, which is what the big thing about the Sony headsets are right now.
I think probably not. I was just seeing if that actually just will connect to the Switch. So that I don't know. I think I'm waiting for Digital Foundry because I think they'll probably do a test on it, like pairing it with different audio stuff, or someone's probably doing a sound test for it to see what works and what doesn't. So, but I think people are going to buy some, or if they got some, they're going to use them for Switch. But I actually think people are going to be buying some new stuff, headsets to put on it. I want to get an Xbox One so I could connect to my Xbox and to my Switch. And like if I'm walking around the house or I'm doing some cleaning and stuff, and I got my Switch with me, I could just carry it along, or if and listen to the music that way and everything instead of having it connected to my controller or something like that. Just using examples for me. But I think it's cool that they do this. And I think for the future for me, I think I'm gonna be listening to more music and stuff. Definitely if I'm going to sleep or anything, I could just have my headphones on my head, laying back and just listening to a podcast or a chill hop on YouTube or something before I fall asleep and everything. I won't have to be connected. I know a lot of people say, but you could do that with any console, but I'm just like with Switch, it just feels, for some reason, it just feels easier for Switch with that. Okay, LeRon?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, but okay, all right.
No. Go ahead.
Oh no! I was done. I was just I didn't think that far ahead of what Ed was saying, but I agree with him on everything. So okay.
I feel like the average gamer already has like some decent like headsets or earbuds. Like hell, look at all these iPhone people who curse God if they're missing one of the AirPods and stuff like that.
What?
I honestly feel like I don't think like it's gonna get that much of a bump. I mean, like now if this thing is putting out some superior audio through its Bluetooth drivers and its codecs and all that stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think a lot of people are actually gonna like rush out and they're gonna make Panasonic or even Sony's because I have the Sony XF 1000 heads earbuds.
How are those?
Oh, these things are legit. These things are legit.
Where did you get yours at? Did you order yours?
Amazon.
Okay, yeah, because I couldn't find none in Best Buy or anything. Because
they're hard to keep on. Well, now that the XF4s are out, but these were always hard to find. So like I just basically put alerts on, for when Amazon had them on.
And just to let everybody know, when it comes to,
as a matter of fact, I want
to get that.
Yeah,
yeah.
When it comes to headsets and when it comes to sound or anything, I always go Sony. I don't go nowhere else. I always go Sony. I would literally spend the money to get their brand because they last longer and they sound so good.
As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to pair these to my Switch tonight while I'm in bed playing Fire Emblem.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Because Fire Emblem has a bomb ass soundtrack.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I always play Fire Emblem in dock mode. I don't play it on the TV. I'm sorry, not dock mode, handheld mode. Oh. But okay, so here's, like I said, I'm one of those people who has some negative thoughts about this. The Nintendo Switch came out in March of 2017. It is closer to 5 years old than it is 4 years old. What was Nintendo thinking taking this long? Like, I think about, remember how I spoke earlier about how the fact like people have multiple Nintendo Switches in their household and whatnot. Yeah. Some of them even spent $85 to buy the little ginky like freaking Bluetooth connector so they could do that. Just think about all these people now, and it's all Switch systems, right? It's Switch and Switch Lite, right?
I believe so. Yes, I know. Regular Switch. It may be like 2.
But you know what's dumb about this? If I'm not mistaken, when they announced the Switch OLED, remember I think I was one of the first people to ask, does it have built-in Bluetooth? I was one of the first people to ask that.
You know what? I asked that too because Dave looked it up for me.
Yeah. So here's the stupid part. They waited until the refresh of the Switch to come out.
That's was because it was. Yeah, that's what the data mine leak was because it had Bluetooth audio. So they were, But in my opinion, it's asinine. They forced people to spend extra money. They didn't have to spend money because guess what? Like it was always built in there. They just we flipped this. We forgot to flip the Switch 5 years later. But I feel like headphone jack and the Switch. They were thinking of that. I think
But it's got built-in Bluetooth.
I do know, but I think they didn't plan for audio until later on. I think they were trying to make sure that the system stayed stable.
And then they forgot about it for 4 years.
Look, they worked. They was working. They probably was focusing more on their online code, on their online net, getting that together. Then they were for the update for Bluetooth. I don't know. I'm not Nintendo. This is Nintendo Japan, everybody. That's all I'm saying. No, this is Nintendo Worldwide. That's not just Nintendo Japan. No, Japan. Japan America doesn't have nothing to do with this. Japan does all of it.
No. What I'm saying is this is a worldwide thing. Like Nintendo Switches that we buy here in the States are manufactured in Japan, then cross the pond.
Okay. I was talking about the updates and stuff, doing the work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but honestly, like this is another one of those bonehead things I talk about. Nintendo does. It's like. I guarantee you, this was a most requested feature. Like, there's a lot of people out there that became snobs. They don't want to have like a wired headset to plug into something, especially when cell phones forced us to cut the cord. Cell phones force us to cut the cord, and like if you really want to have a wired headset to your phone, you have to buy the freaking USB Type-C dongle just to plug your freaking headset into your phone and stuff like that. So a lot of people 3 years ago were cutting their cords. They were done with wired stuff. Like when I got my new phone, I was upset. I was like, oh my god, no more head jack. Because that's all I ever did. I just because I'm an IT guy. So whenever I need to work, but I need my hands free, I plug in a set of earbuds and I go. Now I have to pair a set of Bluetooth earbuds and stuff like that. So it was an adjustment for me. For a lot of people who already own Switches, though, that they had already adjusted to that because phones had already forced them off of corded systems. So. Like I said, it's just another boneheaded thing that I don't understand. Like, this is a quality of life thing. This is not even this is a limitation of our hardware. If it was a limitation of the hardware, then yeah, right now people can justify they went out and spent that $85 Genki device, to have Bluetooth. Which, yeah, people can justify that now. But this is something that could have been done.
But I think for me is I used the same thing. I was telling LeRon when you was gone. We had external hard drives, and it took Microsoft and Sony, who could have did the same thing, years for both Xbox One and Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, and PS4. It took them a long time to get external hard drives, even though they could have did it.
How long? Because I went to GameStop and I remember selling like external hard drives to go with your Xbox 360s day one.
I think Xbox 360 they did it. The third revision before they went into the Xbox One Slim. Before they went to their fourth revision to do it.
When these systems came out the gate with USB ports, like they were already capable of using external hard drives.
They couldn't, because when the Xbox 360 came out, you had to have the hard drive. You had to buy the $100 hard drive to put on. They didn't allow you to do external at all.
Okay.
And then when Xbox One came out, Microsoft still didn't have the update to do external hard drives. That took 2.5 years before they did it. Because when they said that people could do it, that's when they announced that people could add the external hard drive for it. So you kind of had the balance, because they was putting out, when they did the 500 gig, and then they started putting out the 1 terabyte ones. That was the only way that you could have extra space. You couldn't do external for a while. And then PlayStation 3 didn't take it to after they got the Slim version that came out. And that was like probably, I want to say 3 or maybe 4 years after it came out.
I'll take your word for it, but as a guy that works in IT, I feel like back when I had the George Foreman PlayStation 3, I was using external hard drives then, and my system was a launch console.
Yeah, they for some reason they weren't allowing it, because like the thing about, I think when they had those systems out, they weren't selling external hard drives around that, because
no, okay, so they weren't selling proprietary external hard drives. That's different, because you can just go out and buy like a Seagate or a SanDisk or whatever and hook it up, and you had no problems.
Same one,
and that's also how you were able to back up and save and salvage your data.
Because the data they started putting it in the cloud. I wonder. Installations are different. I think that's when they started doing the cloud save data and stuff. But yeah, it just took a while. So I mean, I don't find this as a boneheaded move or anything. I just think it's cool, it's cool. Like, I'm going to use the feature. But the fact that, go ahead. Oh, the thing about it is, no one was thinking about this for a long time. People complained about it, yes.
No, you want to know why nobody was thinking about this? Because nobody was thinking about it because they thought it was never going to get done, so they moved on. So this is why a whole bunch of people on the internet act like someone just threw ice water in their face. Because what? After nearly 5 years, you're saying this can happen? This should have been a year. You know what? This should have been buttoned up by the end of the first year of the Switch's life cycle. And definitely, and you know what they should have done? What they should have done is just let the OLED edition come out, and everybody, if you want Bluetooth, like, you gotta get OLED edition Switch.
Oh, people have been pissed off.
And that's what I thought they were gonna
do. That's marketing genius. That's marketing genius, because guess what they've done now? They pissed off a lot of legacy owners. They really have. Well, I'm not one of the ones that are pissed off. I am one of the ones that are upset, because it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, Bluetooth has been a thing since Xbox 360 and PS3. It has been. Bluetooth has been a thing. Hell. The Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons are Bluetooth.
Yeah.
What the? I'm not gonna curse on Nintendo Pow Block. I'm not. But I'm just saying. Come on. I can't forgive them for this one. This is one of those decisions that, what? I'd rather they just go ahead and just continue canceling like benefits for like cancer and stuff like that, because this makes no sense.
Well. Now that people are out there making their jokes, do you think a lot of people are going to use it? Because my thing is,
because it's a quality of life thing. Like in the day and age we live in, especially the fact that this thing is portable and stuff like that. Guess what? We don't have to worry about our wives, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, our moms. Say we just turn that thing down or go into another room. They just put some headsets on.
Do you think that a lot of people are going to use a lot of their Bluetooth headsets for Switch compared to Xbox and PlayStation?
No, it's going to be the same ratio. It's going to be the same ratio of people who actually it's probably going to be more when people are in handheld mode. It's going to be the same ratio until chat becomes a thing, which I guess it's not. I didn't know that until chat becomes a thing. There's no reason for someone to sit on their couch in dock mode using their headset unless their wife, their husband, their boyfriend, their girlfriend is going to complain about the noise. That's the only reason why.
I think people want to hear the sound quality. I think it's going to be more of the sound quality.
Yeah, and then that curiosity is going to wear out because like a lot of people, like if people are like me, like they usually have their system hooked up to a sound bar.
Well,
like they're just not using the TV speaker audio. The TV speakers. Most gamers, and most gamers typically have two systems. They usually have one of the mainstream consoles, and they have a Nintendo system.
Well, Nintendo is mainstream. I feel like
Nintendo. Okay. Let me rephrase that. Then. Let me rephrase that. Most people usually have one of the more. Most people usually have one of the bigger competitors in the gaming scene, and then they have a Nintendo system.
Okay.
It's one or the other. Like I have a PlayStation and I have a Switch. I do not have an Xbox, but I have a PC. So that technically fills the void for Xbox. It does. I cheat because I have a PC. But vice versa. Most people have an Xbox and they have a Nintendo system. I'm going to say a Switch because the Switch is the current Nintendo console. They don't have a PlayStation. But that's usually what it is. Like most households, going back to the whole if you are a gamer thing, you should not pigeonhole yourself in one lane. Most gamers typically have two systems. And, life is really easy when Microsoft and Sony basically share 85% of 85% of the same games. Like almost every game that's published, is on both systems. Almost. The only ones that don't count are first party titles, and we're getting to a slippery slope with first party now because hell, like I feel like hell froze over when MLB The Show showed up on Xbox Series X,
and that was an MLB decision, not
right.
Sony.
Yeah, but also I about lost my shit when Cuphead showed up on Switch.
You and me both.
Okay.
We don't even go into semantics. I'm just saying, like, look at the way gaming has been for the past 20 some odd years. When a game comes out and it says it's just for this system, you always expect it to be just in that one place. We've got PlayStation games coming to Xbox and PC now. We've got Xbox games coming to Switch, like Ori and the Blind Forest.
But the thing about it is Microsoft don't own most studios.
It doesn't matter though. But that when it was trotted out originally, it was trotted out like it was exclusive on Xbox and Game Pass. Yeah. Like we shouldn't quibble about that. Just for the simple fact, certain games are showing up. Like the mainstream Final Fantasies are only on Sony right now. So hold on. Let me go a different route with that. The mainstream Kingdom Hearts were only on Sony system, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 trots out, and is on multiple platforms. Just think about that. Like things, the scope, the landscape of gaming is changing, and the fact that like there's abilities to play like more games in every place. That's actually a good thing. Like shoot, like. We want more games to come to Sony. We want more games to come to Microsoft. We want more games to come to Nintendo. We want more games that are traditionally in one place. The world will lose their mind if the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection shows up on Nintendo Switch. the world will lose its mind. I mean, it's not coming because it's coming to PC next.
And what the thing about it is because they know that they're gonna get their coins. Sony will get their coins.
And you know what? You know what? In this day and age, like people can't slip up anymore. Like these companies can't slip up anymore. If they see an opportunity to make money, they got to do it. Why do you think EA is releasing Dead Space remake? It's one of their best opportunities to make money after they saw how successful the Mass Effect trilogy is. It almost bugs me that why didn't they just do all 3 games at once? Which that we can say that for the Boss Rush podcast.
Yes. So everybody, that is our thoughts on Bluetooth being on Switch. Enjoy it. If you're upset, hopefully you have calmed down and you have your headset connected to your Switch and you're listening to some.
No, we're gonna stay angry. We're gonna stay angry. We're gonna sync our Bluetooth headsets up to it, but we mad.
You're gonna be so let me get because you're gonna be upset.
I'm being in my bed. I'm being in my bed 11 o'clock tonight with my Bluetooth headset playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses in my bed. Lights off, Bluetooth on. But I'm be mad.
And then forget about what am I mad for?
Nope. Oh no. You remember that Barack Obama meme where he mad, she mad, they stay mad?
Yeah.
We're gonna stay mad at this one.
We'll see. Well, we're gonna get into our last discussion before we get to our cutting on section. Kind of want to ask you guys, we're getting closer to the end of the year, and we got a lot of games getting close to that game of the year nomination spot, and I know there's still a lot of stuff coming out. I kind of want to ask you guys, why do you think Nintendo only gets certain categories, even though they release a ton of games, first party and third party, and even indie games that really come out on Nintendo Switch? Why do they always get ignored when it comes to Game of the Year? And if we look at the Game Awards, kind of like last year, a lot of people gonna say everybody felt like Sony brought the Game Awards, because of all the stuff that the Last of Us 2 have won and stuff. And it always feels like when it gets to the end that most of the games that are nominated always is just from Microsoft and Sony and third party on those platforms, and then Nintendo would get like kid stuff or anything, even though Nintendo may have released million sellers and kind of may have changed a genre and people paid attention to it, and still to this day talk, stream, do fan art, do a whole bunch of stuff, but they just feel like it gets ignored at the end. So I'm gonna start with you, LeRon. Why do you think Nintendo gets ignored when they're the ones that's doing a lot when it comes
I don't believe Nintendo gets ignored. If I'm being serious, what I do believe is that Nintendo as a whole, and this goes back to what LaMont was saying about how the company is structured when it comes to gaming and stuff. They put themselves in a lane that makes it hard to take things seriously. You also said earlier too that Nintendo can't make a Last of Us. They can't make a God of War and stuff like that. And you know what? You say that, and you're the host of Nintendo Pow Block, which if you're saying that and you're supposed to be like Nintendo's #1 cheerleader, there are more people like you. There are more people out there that feel the same way you do about that, and I think this all factors into like these award shows and stuff like that. Honestly, now that being said, that does not mean that games like Super Mario, I don't really keep track of a lot of Nintendo titles, but so I'm just gonna throw some names out there though. Games like Super Mario Odyssey, games like Mario. What's the new one? Mario, is it Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury? Is that the game? Yeah. Okay, which I'll be getting that a little bit later this year too. I'm not saying those are good games. Those are good games. Well, let's put it this way: if it's a game that I'm thinking about putting in my library, it's a good game. But I think there's more factors that go into it. There's a reason why we dog on the Game Awards and stuff like that. The Game Awards seems like a whole bunch of shilling. It does, It does. I mean, especially when Jeff Keighley can't even keep his pants from being wet whenever he hears or sees Hideo Kojima. But I think Nintendo does not get ignored. I'm going to say that Nintendo doesn't get ignored. It seems like they get ignored, but it also goes. When you have a high bias on something, you're always going to feel like you're getting slighted on something. Just think about all the people who are pissed off that The Last of Us 2 got Game of the Year at the Game Awards when there were other games out there when Ghost of Tsushima was out there and they feel like they had a better connection to that. So it's the same thing that applies. I think the higher the personal bias is, the more offended and upset we get when we don't see it, go the way we think it should go. Stuff like that. I'm not going to pull up the awards list for the Game Awards. And by the way, this might be a good time to plug the fact that Boss Rush is coming out with its own version of the Game Awards.
Yes.
You're gonna hear more about it coming soon. But we're working on it. I'm one of the lead panelists for it. So get ready.
Yeah, we might have
don't spill any beans.
I'm just saying, me, you, and Dan may have to set a meeting for it.
Yeah, but I really do not feel like Nintendo is getting ignored or overlooked or anything. And honestly, the one thing I will say as far as Nintendo goes, if Nintendo took more risks, they would get more recognition. Honestly, that's what it is. If they're letting their third-party developers do all the work, and the third-party developers are going to get all the credit. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at next year's award shows once we hit. Metroid Dread's coming out. Breath of the Wild 2's coming out. I'm interested to see how Hyrule. What's the game?
Hyrule Warriors.
Is that the game? Is that the one that I was like? Is that the one where I was like, the demo basically killed me from buying the game?
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how Age of Calamity does this year, because technically this is the year for it to be on these award shows. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it ended. Because Cyberpunk would have been on it, I think.
Cyberpunk's on this year, and you know what? I know Cyberpunk's going to get some awards. It probably won't get Game of the Year just because of the scandal and everything that went on with that game and stuff like that. But I feel like games are And by the way, Death Stranding getting all those awards at Game Awards, that's because Jeff Keighley has a boner for Hideo Kojima.
But that one was weird because Tetris Effect had just came out with it was getting nominations, and the game came out 3 weeks ago before the show was done. I'm like, what in the world? And then that's something that's unfair. Games need to get a fair shake. If a game's only been out I feel like 3 weeks is not long enough, unless the game threw down a blockbuster. Monster Hunter Rise did 5 million sales in the first month. That's a blockbuster, in my opinion. I guarantee you, Capcom might get one award for that. Yeah,
and it might be because of the Switch factor, but it might also be because of the fact that they just had a monumental game called Monster Hunter World. So Rise has tough shoes to follow up.
And LaMont, before I get to you, I kind of feel like when it comes to definitely with the Game Awards, looking at them, I think people tune in to see what the world is Nintendo announcing, because when people get more hype seeing Nintendo stuff. The way that Joker trailer came when he was coming to Smash, how people got hyped for that. When Ultimate Alliance 3 came for Switch, and people just what in the world? And people lost their mind. Did people lose their minds, or did Nintendo fans lose their mind? People lost their mind because I didn't lose my mind about the Joker announcement. I did not lose. Well, I kind of lost my mind about Ultimate Alliance, but the only reason why I lost my mind about that because I thought Ultimate Alliance was a dead and buried series.
It was supposed to be.
I did. when Joker came to Smash, no one expected that to happen because Persona 5
was... Hey, I'm the guy that wrote a Boss Rush banner about is Smash Brothers really a fighting game? No, you might want to pick another topic.
It was because everybody was wondering what because it was a cool trailer. It's a beautiful trailer, and we know that Sega, Atlas, and Nintendo have a good relationship. But people didn't know that. Why would a game that's never been on the Nintendo console Persona Q has been on the 3DS, so that kind of somewhat counts. But people thought that people were willing to pay the money. Persona 5 came out for Switch, and they thought that announcement was going to happen. Because people were blown away to see not Simon Bell, but Cloud on Smash. Like, people lost their mind. So when people are watching the Game Awards, even though Nintendo might get slided or might only actually show up in one category, when you see a Nintendo trailer of a game, you be like, what in the world? What? And there's just some hype about it. It's just a weird thing. What about you, LaMont? What did you think? Do you think Nintendo always gets slided when it comes to like end of the year Game Awards or even like personal Game Awards or anything?
Well, it's kind of a tough one, and I guess I'm going to put my own confession on this one as well. When I think of Game Awards, I think of story and moving moments in the game, kind of like movie awards. And the only game for a Nintendo game, I gotta say, that really got me for all of that would have been Breath of the Wild. But I don't know. I'm kind of with LeRon on this one. If they did take a little bit more risk as far as first parties, I mean, they would have, they would have gotten a lot more awards. But it just really seems like they should. I guess I don't know. I'm just kind of back and forth all over the place on this one.
I think I can help you out with this one. Actually, LaMont. I think the major thing is that this, if you want your stuff to be a contender for the Game Awards or any award show that deals with this stuff, it's got to have that X factor. It's got because for every Tekken 7 that comes out, there's like 19 other fighting games that are also out that same year and stuff like that. These games have to have that X factor if they're gonna make the grade. Okay, so Last of Us 2 is definitely like Sony's thing. What would you say Nintendo's thing was to rival that?
To rival Last of Us?
Well, no. Okay, rival's probably a bad word to say with that.
That was 2020, right?
Yeah. What Nintendo? What Nintendo?
Animal Crossing for that one.
Well, what Nintendo action title? Do you think? You brought up Animal Crossing. Do you think Animal Crossing was a Game of the Year game? Do you think so? I'm asking you, the Nintendo fan.
For me, I don't think Animal Crossing, outside of sales and what it did for people, outside of it, I don't think it's Game of the Year material. I really thought that Paper Mario, the Origami King, was because of the writing, because of the graphics, because of the challenge in a innovative way. Sorry, to play action adventure role playing game and stuff. They actually did something different that would teach you a new skill that mixes puzzle and action together. Where I feel like when it came to The Last of Us 2, there's just story beats that just it's point A to point B, and then it's just a whole bunch of filler. Of course, it's a technical masterpiece, but the game kind of like worn out its welcome within maybe an hour of the game, because you pretty much what you experienced about the whole thing, they never surprise you or they never change anything up through that game. But because it's it got rated high because of all the people who reviewed it and who went out and voted for it. It won off of that instead of bringing something new. Like if I don't think for PlayStation, I really think Ghost of Tsushima should have been a game of the year for Sony PlayStation, because outside of the beautiful graphics and everything, they kind of really kind of was into the story and the voice acting, the gameplay, take it or leave it, character models, take it or leave it, but it felt like a beautiful world that you really want to invest in, and the story beats were really good. Everything just felt like, it didn't feel like a point A to point B. Yeah, it had an open world structure, but when you got into a mission, you really cared for it. And then on top of that, they did another mode where you could watch it in monochrome to make it actually feel like an old school movie. So they had ideas that they went onto it. And I felt like The Last of Us 2 didn't do it enough for me.
Now I want you to pay attention to something that you said throughout your time that you spoke. Do you know what it was you said? You said, I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you gotta factor that in,
Yes.
Like you gotta factor that in. And honestly, this is what's gonna be our biggest hurdle when we do our game show, because we're gonna have to put feelings aside, to look at all the aggregate parts that make it before we even get the feelings, because one thing that I don't think you can discount is the way The Last of Us 2 made you feel after you completed it. Same thing can be said about, I don't think anyone can combat the way Paper Mario and the Origami King made them feel after they beat it. After they put it down, stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when it comes to looking at some of these lists and everything, how come when I look at the outside, when I look at streamers, when I look at my own Twitter line and see what people are saying about games, it's always Nintendo related and heavy, how they're much enjoying it. Some of the big games
I think it's who you're following.
That's why I said my own Twitter line.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And it always feels like, and people who I follow on Xbox, people who I follow who play PlayStation and stuff, I feel like they'll play that sort of game, but when it comes to Nintendo, they're still just playing like Breath of the Wild. They're still playing Mario Kart. They're still
I'm still playing Monster Hunter World.
And it's like it's kind of like people are finding out about Hades, and it's just like, you guys know that Hades been out on Switch and on Epic Game Store for years. So
I just got
okay. First of all, if they're the same type of gamer I am, when it was in early access in Epic Game Store, they weren't playing it, because guess what? We're not going to spend money. We're not going to spend money to help you develop your game.
Well, the thing about it is that it came out and nobody was talking about it.
Nobody was talking about it because, okay, number one, like when Hades was doing its thing on the Epic Game Store, the Epic Game Store still wasn't a popular place for gamers to like congregate.
True. I thought. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But also, like I said, like early access and like pre-built games and stuff like that, that's always going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Look at how people trash PUBG.
Yes.
Huh.
So yeah, so let's not talk about Hades.
Not even trash PUBG. How many people was hating on it because it came to Xbox? Some certain Sony fans who was just like, this should be on Sony PlayStation. PUBG came to Sony PlayStation and no one talked about it.
Exactly, because no one cared. No one cared. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. How many of us at Boss Rush Games actually cares about PUBG? I don't see people. I don't see people inviting each other in the chat to say, "Hey, let's play a game of PUBG." I have seen people say, "Hey, let's play a couple of games of Valorant. Let's play Among Us. Let's play Monster Hunter Rise." I've seen that. I don't ever see anyone talk about like PUBG. Like,
Mario Party.
Hell, I've seen Mario Party. Yeah, exactly. Mario Party, Mario Kart. Oh my God, y'all made me sick all those nights y'all were talking about. Oh, we're about this Mario Kart. Like, That damn game, or Smash, or Kazuya's out. Let's play Smash, Mithra's out. Let's play Smash. And it's like, anyone that knows me knows I can't stand Smash and I cannot stand Mario Kart. Anyone that knows me.
Yes, but that's why I feel like I'm like this for me. That's why I invited you. Let's play Monster Hunter because definitely here at Boss Rush we love playing games and hopefully we could play more games with each other. And get that experience. So people who follow me on Twitter, I put out optional opinions episode of Corey's debut coming on the show, and we talked about Destiny. And I used to trash Destiny badly because I called it a washing machine kind of game. But I talked to Corey. I talked to Corey about it, and we recorded an optional opinion, and we were talking about the game in frustration. And I went to Corey because he is a wealth of knowledge for that game, and that made me look at Destiny once to be like, okay, it's still problematic for me. But then I played Destiny 2, went in gung ho playing Destiny 2, and definitely enjoyed it. I need to play more of it. Knowing that LeRon is a Monster Hunter player, now that I know that he plays Rise and he plays World, how many times have I went to you, LeRon, to ask for advice and help? Yeah, because I want to be able to play that. So when it comes to stuff with Game of the Year, it's just that we're not choosing these small amount of games. Yes, I buy a lot and I play a lot because I want to make sure that when we do Game of the Year or I do my nominations, it's hitting so many different areas that people should be checking out. And if they don't check it out, at least they know that someone played this game and gave it a chance. And that's sometimes I think at the Game Awards, when they send it out to these journalists, I don't think a lot of journalists are playing a lot of the games and stuff. They just find out what's popular.
No.
On the list, because I'm just like, there is no way that Sony has all these, and I'm not trying to knock Sony at all, because I think they deserve whatever nomination that they get for their games. They deserve it. God of War is a phenomenal game. Uncharted 4 deserves every award that they get. That is a phenomenal game. And this is coming from me.
You know what? To put succinctly, the main reason why Nintendo we're just gonna say gets overlooked a lot of times for these award shows is because and I'm not saying Paper Mario and the Origami King is like a simple game or something, but a lot of people equate Nintendo games being simple. Guys like me, I say I outgrew Nintendo games a long time ago and stuff like that. You know what? That's a lot of the gaming community though. I think a lot of people feel that way. Some people just don't want to readily admit it and stuff like that. But I really think that's the problem. And maybe it's an unfair thing for Nintendo, because Nintendo does have some bangers. Nintendo does have some first party bangers, but at the same time, hold on though, because also here's the other problem. Nintendo is still in the habit of re-releasing games from older consoles, consoles. See, that's another problem, because they're padding their library of releases, but it's not substance. We worry about what's coming out on the Nintendo Switch. I guarantee you, Skyward Sword is not going to hit any of the award shows. I guarantee you.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's
because
fine.
Skyward Sword already had his moment to shine, and the fact that it's the HD version. I can't remember who I was talking to, but we broke down what was HD about it, and basically it wasn't a remake or a remaster, so that's gonna hurt it. Honestly.
And I think LeMont, I'm gonna get your take on this. When it comes to Nintendo, has different things. So when they do an HD version, that means that they enhanced it. They put some work into it. When they say collection, they just put that original game onto it. They may change the controller to fit that particular system. So, and they let you know this is what you're getting when you get the game. Yeah, the pricing, it is what it is. But at least they let you know or anything with it. And people get upset. But if
Of course we're gonna get upset. You just sold what you just sold me a game that's 15 years old for full price. Of course we're gonna get upset.
Yeah, but I think
I'm thinking back on when Super Mario 3D All Stars was announced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I said was, and I remember saying this,
I hope he said that's a damn good deal. I hope he said that's a damn good deal.
I really hope they remaster. I really hope they do something huge with Super Mario 64. And I said that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh that loud.
I know, no, yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, wider screen. That's okay. That's.
But it's a collection.
And you want to know, I'm glad you said something about the wider screen aspect, or the wider screen ratio, because when everybody started reviewing it, especially like hardcore Nintendo fans, they're like, you might as well just kept it the original screen aspect. Because it looked a little funky. It actually forced people to play their Super Mario 64 in handheld mode. It didn't look right on television.
Oh, I just wanted a remastered version.
You know what? For the price that they sold it as, like, you know what? It's a damn good deal. Like, yeah, like, you know, we bitch and complain about it because, like, yeah, they could have done a little bit more with it, you know. But at the same time, I mean, I was on my boyfriend's couch playing Mario Sunshine over the weekend. and having a good time because he'd never played it. And he's like, and I ran through. Huh?
The cover that I sent you?
No, he had his own.
Oh, he had his own.
But he was like he never played Mario Sunshine, and he was like, "Did you play this game?" Because like I'd already in like 20 minutes I'd already beaten four stages. He's like, "Did you play this game?" I was like, "Yeah, I used to have this game."
and that's why I said with Nintendo, when they say collection, it's different from when they do HD. So collections, they don't really do that much work. HD, they will do some work, and I think they kind of
it's a travesty though, because like all these other companies though, when they do a collection like or HD, like there's something.
Yeah.
Here's a perfect example, right? Here's a perfect example, right? Final Fantasy Chronicles that came on PS1. It was $40. You got Chrono Trigger, and you got I can't remember what
Final
the
Fantasy
other
5.
in Final Fantasy 5, right?
Yes.
$40. And that was a good deal. It was a collection. That was a good deal. Collections, I don't have any problems with. But when it's a 1-to-1 port from an older console, and I'm actually shocked they haven't tried to trot out some actual Nintendo Wii titles yet, you know, and I get it. The Wii U did not flourish the way Nintendo wanted it to. So like they're releasing these games now to get people to play them and pay attention to them, stuff like that. That's fun, that's noble and everything and stuff like that. But you know, like some of these games are really dated and like it's a hard pill to swallow. They're $60. It's a really hard pill to swallow. Especially when they did nothing for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think okay.
I mean that's the easiest way for me to say it. I mean, but going back to the original topic of discussion, though, I feel like honestly, like Nintendo pioneers. I mean, shit, like one Nintendo game basically pulled everybody out of the pandemic. Well, I didn't play Animal Crossing, but the fact that it had power, because my roommate was begging me. She said she was like, "I will buy this game if you please let me play it on your Switch." I was like, there's no way in hell, because I'm like, I have games let's play on my Switch. You're not going to be down on the couch for like 20 hours playing this game, and I can't ever turn my Switch on. I was like, the Nintendo Switch.
She on the couch playing it. LeRon just in the kitchen, just looking outside, like.
I'm like Nintendo's affordable at $300. And Animal Crossing, you know, that's the price of a new game, $60. You know.
While your PC and all your other high price stuff is upstairs in your room, be like, play me. You just like.
Oh man. when a Monster Hunter game comes out on something that's not on the PC, my PC gets immediately upset at me.
You already know. I'm ready to turn this to the stream. What you doing?
My PC and my PlayStation are hot at me whenever I turn on Monster Hunter Stories 2 or Monster Hunter Rise. They're like, we don't know you.
We got the next.
They're and if we're gonna give our inanimated devices personalities and stuff like that. Like, not only are they mad because I'm playing a Monster Hunter game on the Switch, there's 2 Monster Hunter games on the Switch right now. and they're both quote unquote current.
But I think hopefully this year Nintendo gets some love and recognition, even indies on Nintendo that haven't hit PlayStation or Xbox just yet. I really hope they get some recognition this year at certain people's Game Awards. But you guys gonna have to tune in, because once the Boss Rush awards happen, get ready. It's gonna be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So everybody, we're gonna get to cutting on. So what is the one game that you are cutting on? LeRon, I'm gonna start with you.
The one game I'm cutting on right now is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, because I really need to beat that game, especially that I just realized that Kena Bridge of Spirits comes out next week.
What day is it? Is it on a Tuesday?
The 21st, which is next Friday next week.
Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not
man.
good.
What's
reminded me.
you know what's sad though? Like, I told myself I was not going to buy any video games for the month of September, and I've done a damn good job of it. But Kenna, I have to get that game, even though that game is only going to be $40 on the PS5. I got to get that game.
It's going to be $40.
Yeah. It's not even a traditional full price game.
Yeah, but it looks very AAA. The
Ember Lab Studio. That's the name.
Yeah.
That's the name of the developers for it. Sony put a lot of backing into them for this game. Like, it's part of. It was one of the first games for Sony's indie initiatives for PS5.
Yeah, I think it was. Was it in the first reveal when PS5 was revealed?
Yep.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember.
They're not doing physical, right? I think I need to pre-order it on my PS4.
Oh, I think it's.
I thought it was physical.
It's got to be physical copies. There's good. Yeah, I think there's physical copies.
Let me look at Best Buy, because I think what I'll do, I think I'm gonna pre-order it for pickup. Because I'm not worried about it.
I think I'm gonna get a physical copy of it.
I'm definitely getting a physical. It's got to be. I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right. So Ratchet and Clank. I'm sorry to Ron that Smash Brothers beat Ratchet and Clank last month. That was wild for July.
What now?
So for NPD, Super Smash Brothers came in number 10, and Ratchet and Clank went to number 11 for the month of July.
Oh, no one cares about that. Y'all are laughing, but I mean, really, no one's really caring about that. You know what? I just looked at Best Buy. I don't see anything for an actual sell for Kena Bridge of Spirits. So it might just be digital.
I'm probably gonna go to their website then and see.
That sucks.
Right, because that game looks beautiful, and I'm so ready to play that. I cannot wait.
Yeah, me too.
I said this during the PlayStation Showcase last year. Like, Kena Bridge of Spirits looks like every Avatar Last Airbender and every Avatar Legend of Korra game that we should have gotten.
Yes. You hear that, Platinum Games? Not that mess that you did for Activision. So, LaMont, what game are you cutting on?
I am replaying Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. No. It's. I don't know. I think I have a problem. So I beat the game first time, and then I got the DLC, but for some odd reason, I'm not playing the DLC yet because I wanted to replay it on hard mode and go straight to. I don't know. I'm weird. I did the same thing with Spider-Man. For the PS, Spider-Man. I ended up playing it, and then I replayed it, and I love that game. I'm so Oh, I'm so addicted to that game. It's crazy. And I will be playing. Let me see. I want to go on the Wii. I'm actually waiting on. Hey, I got a question for you. Doesn't Nintendo Switch games digital, aren't they available on release like around midnight?
So Nintendo games.
I'm waiting on Eastward. I want to play that game.
Eastward's out for Switch.
It's out now?
Yeah.
I thought it was out tomorrow.
No, it can't. Nintendo releases their games on Thursdays. Well, third party and indies do Thursdays. Nintendo first party always goes on Friday. Eastward's out right now.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll be playing that then. I thought it was tomorrow, like this whole time.
Because you was able to pre-order it, and then when it hit 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, it was already available to play. It pre-installed because I bought it yesterday night.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, so you go play it. Well, the game that I am cutting on is Tale of Arise. Played a little bit more of that. Definitely enjoying it, getting further into that. Yes, LeRon, trust me. I know I'm going to get into Dead Space. I'm so
No. Oh, no. I was oohing because, like, man, I want that game. But I said I'm not buying any games in September. And I already broke that rule because I'm getting Kingdom Bridge of Spirits next week. I will get Tales of Arise. I will get Tales of Arise soon, though, because, like, the more I see of it, the more I'm like, you know what? I hate JRPGs, but I'm buying this JRPG.
Oh, you're going to love it. I'm like, it's so simple and it's so good. Yeah, and it looks good on Series X, and it's gonna look good on. People have been playing it a lot on PS5, so they definitely been enjoying. Which reminds me, did you install your SSD? When we were talking about it since Tuesday, since the update.
I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. It's only because my PlayStation 5 hasn't been turned on yet. That's all.
Okay.
I mean, besides Ratchet and Clank, but like I haven't really done that because like it's one of those things I want to do it on the weekend just in case I run into complications. Because the update happened last night, right? The update, well, I'm sorry, not last night. The update happened yesterday. Wednesday was the day the PS5 update went live for all that stuff, right? I did not want to screw around like doing some technical stuff, and something goes wrong, and then I'm losing sleep because I'm like I need to fix it. So I'm just waiting for the weekend. That's all.
Okay, so. But Tales of Arise.
I got to worry about getting my PC ready for Windows 11 because that's next month.
Yeah, what was the?
That is next month.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in December, but they changed it into October. I wonder what happened. I wonder
I don't know why they brought it. I don't know why they raised they made it earlier, but whatever.
Because I know you had the preview of.
As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to because I have the preview version of it on my Microsoft Surface. Yeah, I'm probably going to this weekend put it on my main PC because the one thing that I really want to see about Windows 11 is supposed to be able to differentiate HDR mode without you having to flip switches now. So like when you're playing games and it has HDR native to it. Yeah, the game is the systems the operating system is supposed to know it automatically and put your settings to HDR without you having to do it because right now in Windows 10 you have to like do a couple of things before you start your game in HDR mode for it to get the HDR effect and stuff like that. Windows 11 fixes that for you. It does it automatically in the operating system.
I wonder is that just for actual playing games with it, or is it also for streaming? Like if I switch stuff from my Xbox Series X to my laptop, I wonder if it does it.
I don't know for sure. Like I really need to play around more with the operating system. The only way I'm really gonna be able to play around more with the operating system is to actually put it on my main PC, my gaming and streaming PC. That's what I gotta do.
Because I'm thinking of, and we're gonna get to the end, everybody. Sorry, LaMont. I think in November I am going to, and I'll probably ask you, LeRon, for some help. I'm probably gonna get another laptop, but I need to find one that has more RAM so that I can stream properly for Twitch.
Yeah. Well, you need to be.
I'm doing myself.
You need a beefier processor and you need more RAM.
Well, and I don't know how do I want to go Dell. I gotta
If you're gonna do Dell, you need to do the Dell gaming series though. Don't just get a Dell.
Oh yeah, it would be there. If their gaming series offer more RAM, then I'll do that. And then this one, I would still use the one that I'm using now. You gotta do the same thing, LaMont, to get a PC or a laptop.
Yeah. Probably like around December. Definitely get a laptop. I would love a new gaming PC though. I'll be honest, I've never actually been much of a PC gamer, but
Same.
I'm starting to.
Right.
And and of course I'm excited for that Steam Deck, which
Oh, you mean the Nintendo Switch Pro that everybody gonna hack that thing too?
hey, I might drop the Cemu emulator on there and run me some Breath of the Wild.
We are gonna talk off the show.
Oh, I'm sorry to whoever has to edit this.
I can stand it. But everybody, that is right, that's what
LeRon ruined Pow Block. Sorry.
Awesome.
You know what? David was kind of worried. Well, actually, we was all kind of worried because this is like we know that the PlayStation crew, they like to trash Nintendo Pow Block on Crossroads. I'm like, no, they don't do it. They do it because of me. They love everybody else. Me, they go in.
Ed, we love you. If we didn't love you, you wouldn't be invited on this show.
And I love how when Brody came on, he was just like, "Sorry, Ed," and then I was just like,
Ha!
Hey! It's like I said earlier, though. Like you're Nintendo's number one. You're Nintendo's biggest cheerleader as far as like Boss Rush is concerned. Like I really feel I don't think anybody else outdoes you when it comes to Nintendo. I don't think so. Hell, they probably don't outdo you on Sony. And you don't even have a PlayStation 5, sir.
The struggle, man. I'm tried. I have to wait now.
Mister, I'm gonna go ahead and give me an OLED Switch though, but I have a PlayStation 5. I'm just messing with you. Don't say no. Don't say outro us out, please. Take us out.
Well, they're ready for the, I guess, 8th time, whatever. This has been Nintendo Pow Block MINIBLOck. LeRon, go ahead and plug real quick.
All right. Well, if you don't know, you can always find me on social media, Twitch, YouTube. My gamer tag, it's all Exodus803, EXODUS 803. Reminder, Crossroads PlayStation Podcast Show with myself, Austin Campbell, Nelly Lott, and Chris True. We are Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
Nice.
Check us out. Check us out with a PlayStation show. We are equal opportunity though. Like we bash it all. We bash Sony. We bash Nintendo. We bash Microsoft. We bash PC too. Like we're equal opportunity though.
Yeah, and everybody do subscribe to Exodus 803. Show LeBron some love and the whole crew for PlayStation. They do phenomenal work, and I do enjoy listening to them, and I enjoy the discussions that they have.
Thank you. Oh.
LaMont, where can we find you?
You can also find me on social media. Check out my user on PlayStation. I am TMNT fan number 2. And check out my articles in Boss Rush.
Yes, we're supposed to be doing Streets of Rage 4. Me and you. We got to beat up some
crap,
folks.
I forgot. Oops. Yeah. Definitely. Are you free tomorrow?
Yes, I am free tomorrow. LeRon, if you're free
LeRon?
What we doing?
Oh no, if you're free. Oh no, you probably.
Oh, Streets of Rage. I don't have the DLC though.
Yeah.
I have Streets of Rage 4 on the Switch, but I don't have the DLC.
If you're free, we have to do some monster hunting, some raids and stuff like that.
Okay.
I gotta try to play with LeRon. I gotta try to play. I'm trying to play with everybody as much as I can. I gotta actually finish. So, but you guys can find me on Twitter at that Richard Code. You can check me out on Nintendo Pow Block, like I said, on Mondays live, and check out the show on Wednesdays. Check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud. I am going to be getting back into that starting this weekend, recording some episodes for it. I know it's been a long time, but I was listening to them like, man, I got to get back into this. So I will be doing that. If you guys want to check out my Switch code, is on my Twitter page at that retro code. If you want to follow me on PSN, it's Okamical, Okamical. And if you want to join me on Xbox, it's the Lyrical One, DALYRICAL, the number 1. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Thank you, LaMont. Thank you, LeRon. And we will see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody.
So long.
Peace.